Let me tell you a story about a man. You probably know him. Maybe you've worked with him before. Maybe you're married to one. Maybe you're raising one right now. Or maybe you are him. Every morning when he wakes up before everyone else, he checks his phone. He's looking at his messages. He's looking at work messages, the bills, deadlines that need to be met. Before his feet even touches the ground, his mind is already working. He goes through the day doing what needs to be done, providing. He's a leader. He's solving problems. People look at him and say, oh, he is doing well, but no one sees what happens when he's alone. Nobody sees the exhaustion. Nobody sees the pressure. No one sees the emotional weight he's carrying on his shoulders, because the burnout men experience often doesn't look like a burnout at all. Hi, I am Dr. Ekus. I help high-performing individuals develop mental clarity, improve themselves intentionally, and build sustainable ways to grow without burning themselves in the process. Today, as part of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, we're talking about some things many men experience, but they rarely discuss. The burnouts men do not talk about. For men, the pressure starts early. Many men experience, especially in Nigerian and African cultures, there are unspoken expectations to be responsible, to be strong, take care of your family, figure it out, don't complain, keep it moving. Many boys grow up learning how to carry responsibilities, but very few are taught how to carry stress. Yes, stress, you heard me right. Very few are taught what to do when life becomes emotionally overwhelming. So what happens? They learn to endure. And endurance becomes the identity that they know. The problem is that endurance is not the same thing as well-being. And that's where burnout begins. Now, what does men burnout really look like? When most people think about burnout, we all imagine someone who is in bed, can get up, can do anything, but that is not what burnout is often like for men. Many men, they keep going. They still go to work. They try to still provide for their family. They still show up. They're smiling. They're still joking. They're still functioning, which is exactly why nobody notices it. Burnout in men often sounds like this. I am just tired. I will be fine. Let me just handle it. It's part of life. But underneath those words, there is emotional exhaustion, mental fatigue, feeling like they are trapped, feeling disconnected from themselves, feeling like no matter how much they do, it's never enough. And then something else starts to happen. How men often cope with burnout. Here's where things get really interesting. Please listen carefully. Many men don't deal with burnout directly. They distract themselves from it. Some throw themselves deeper into work because being busy feels easier than sitting down in difficult emotions. Some withdraw emotionally, not because they don't care, but because they don't have the energy. Some become very irritable, short-tempered, less patient, not because they're angry people, but because they are emotionally depleted. Remember, they don't know how to handle this. Others isolate themselves. And perhaps the most common of them all is silence. Many men suffer silently, quietly, because they spent their entire lives believing they should. But silence doesn't solve burnout. Now, here's the cost of staying silent. The problem with silent burnout is that eventually it affects everything around you. Your focus, your relationships with loved ones, your health physically, emotionally, your sleep, your motivation to do things, the ability to enjoy life. Rather, you start surviving instead of living. And you become physically present, but emotionally, you're absent. And the saddest part is, many men don't realize how burnt out they are until their mind, their body forces them to stop. So what should men do instead? Here is a healthier way to handle it better. The answer isn't becoming less strong. The answer is redefining your strength. Strength is not pretending you're okay when you're not. Absolutely not. Strength is recognizing when you're struggling. Strength is having honest conversations. Strength is reaching out before you completely feel overwhelmed. Strength is admitting that being human comes with a limit. You can be ambitious and still rest. You can be responsible and still ask for help. You can be strong and still have emotion. Those things are not contradictions. They are part of being healthy. So if you're watching this as a man, I want you to hear this clearly. You do not have to end rest. You do not have to carry everything alone. And you do not have to wait until you break down to take your mental well-being seriously. The burnout men don't talk about is very real, but so is recovery too. And recovery starts with awareness. Because the strongest men aren't the ones who never struggle. The ones who recognize the struggle and choose to deal with it before it consumes them are the strong men. So if this message resonated with you, subscribe for more conversations around men's mental health, because June is dedicated to men's mental health to improve mental clarity and sustainable high performance. And if you know any guy here today who's been carrying a lot quietly, share this video with them. He may need to hear it more than you realize.